Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live. 00121 hashtag upside down. So, anyways, let's go check out what's in the note section here. Okay, in the note section, I have bond trading view. Let me make sure I'm still streaming. Okay. Bond trading view, list of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high, flagged for shorts. So go ahead and check that out. And then also in the note section there, these are the things I'm going to be talking about today. Consumers will decide if Bitcoin Cash succeeds, says Bitstamp CEO Nejc Kodrič. I think I said his name right. It's kind of weird. Anyways, I'll be talking about that. Bitstamp will be allowing users to trade Bitcoin Cash. And I think around starting December, so that should be really soon. Originally was going to be done around September, postponed to December. And also in the same time frame, BitMEX will be dumping Bitcoin Cash for Bitcoin. That's BitMEX, the other exchange. And then soon after, around New Year's, January, Coinbase will also make Bitcoin Cash available to all their users. So we're going to finally see how Bitcoin Cash will stand up, because right now the price and the trading volume has only been concentrated for the most part in South Korea on Bitstamp. And so we're going to let the consumers decide, if Bitcoin Cash will succeed. So this is going to be the ultimate test. A lot of people talk about the flippening. Well, I think there is some flippening going on for sure. And speaking of flippening, this has always been brought up, always. Coinbase OG, Olaf Carlson-Wee, or Olaf Carlson-Wee, I'm not sure how to say his name. Ethereum will bypass Bitcoin in 2018. Now, he's made this bold statement several times. This year, the flippening of Ethereum to being first in total market cap almost happened. That's when Bitcoin was at around 30 to 40 billion market cap. Ethereum came pretty close, around 30, 38, 39 almost. I mean, very close. But soon after that, just nosedived. And Bitcoin has continued all the way up to, I think, 120, maybe even 130 or 150. I think over $150 billion in market cap. So I have a sneaky suspicion about Ethereum when they're talking about, how Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin as far as market cap. I believe proof of stake, Casper, has something to do with it. I'll be going over that as well. Also in the note section, meme chart mania. Is this the tip of the iceberg, or have we already hit peak Bitcoin? This is coming from bitcoin.com. Interesting little op-ed, not really a news article, more of an op-ed opinion. And it's a good, interesting read. Are we hitting peak Bitcoin? Well, that's kind of like saying, have we hit peak oil? Because apparently peak oil happened almost 10 years ago, and yet gasoline is, it's still about $2 per gallon where I am. It's not projected to be like the $15, the $20, the $30 per gallon when this whole nonsense of peak oil came along. I'm still getting fairly cheap electricity and all this other stuff. So gas seems to be fairly inexpensive. Even for California and parts of New York, I mean, price of gasoline has come down. So have we hit peak Bitcoin? Well, I don't know how that's possible since Bitcoin aren't really physical in any way. I'll be going over that article or that op-ed. And then, oh, we got another one. We have another one. Lightning Bitcoin. Anybody heard of, I've heard of the Lightning Network. How about Lightning Bitcoin? Ticker symbol LBTC. Lightning Bitcoin, another hard fork scheduled for December 23rd. Wow. It's going to be a busy holiday season, isn't it? I mean, the gift of Bitcoin just keeps raining down on all of us. I have the link to Lightning Bitcoin if you're interested. Ticker symbol LBTC. Now, Lightning Bitcoin seems to be somewhat related to Bitcoin Gold. I mean, they seem to be cooperating with each other, at least the two different implementations of Bitcoin. I'm guessing if there is a Lightning Gold Bitcoin, the ticker symbol will be LGBTC. So go figure. Go figure. I guess they'll go both ways after that. That was a pun, a joke, of course. There is no Lightning Bitcoin Gold, and obviously there is no ticker symbol LGBTC, although there is an acronym LGBTC. So anyways, let's go on. Also in the notes section and partitioned underneath that is Coinspectator, real-time cryptocurrency news aggregator. These are news aggregators. If you're interested in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, you probably want to stay up to date because things happen pretty fast, very fast actually. CryptoPanic is a news aggregator platform indicating impact on price and market for traders and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. And Crypto King, another news aggregator. Also in the notes section, partitioned, is all the potential hard forks, already forked, joke forks, and fake forks. Bitcoin Silver, I'll leave up there just a little bit longer, just in case somebody like Adam Meister gets in contact with some other Chinese mining company or whoever, someone from China or maybe South Korea, and they want to run with Bitcoin Silver. It's time to stop meme. I have that in the notes section and down there as well. It's time to stop with these hard forks. Bitcoin Platinum. Now, Bitcoin Platinum was a joke fork. Was a joke. It was on the bitcointalk.org forum. If you go through and read all the posts, you'll see that somebody posted a picture of the coin, and above it, if you highlighted it, it says it's a joke. Well, apparently someone has co-opted this joke form and actually made a Bitcoin Platinum. I also have a link to the actual website, bitcoinplatinum.github.io, and it's a ticker symbol BTG PTL or PLT, I think. Bitcoin Uranium, also probably a joke fork, but I have a feeling that someone will probably come by, most likely Adam Meister, and pump it on his show, and some Chinese entity or person, or maybe South Korean person, or maybe even Roger Ver or Jian Wu will pick up Bitcoin Uranium. And let me see here, Bitcoin Cash Plus, that is happening very soon as well. That will be happening around January 2nd. Maybe sooner or later, probably sooner, because the way these blocks are being discovered, their blocks are being, blocks are being moved or discovered faster than slower in some cases. So this might be coming really, really soon. Bitcoin Classic. That is a continuation of a hard fork that the Bitcoin Cash hard forked and hard forked again. So this is a continuation of the Bitcoin Cash fork, Bitcoin Classic. Segwit 2x is another hard fork. The original Segwit 2x actually couldn't implement the hard fork. So Segwit 2x, the fake Segwit 2x, implemented a hard fork on the same block height of the original Segwit 2x. So there's already a snapshot for that. Question is, when are we going to get our coins? Who knows? Who knows? And then Super Bitcoin happening on the originally I think it was on the 17th. Now I'm hearing on the 15th. So, you know, what's going on? I guess the blocks are being discovered much faster, so it's moving up the time frame here. And then Bitcoin Diamond with BID ticker symbol, and that was actually hard forked on the 22nd. Apparently, can't find the ticker symbol or coin anywhere. Probably being traded on some obscure platform. But there's a website for it. And then Bitcoin Diamond BCD, which was hard forked on November 24th, which apparently does have a futures market and is being traded. Snapshot already taken, but nobody has their coins yet. Not even a main yet. And then the recently added Lightning Bitcoin LBTC. So that's something I'll be going over today. We'll check it out. And of course, I have a link to airdrops. Last update, October 29th. That's when I last went there. But I think it updates every day. So go ahead and check out that website, cryptocrete.com/airdrop. Because I know people love receiving money falling from the sky. People love it. I have to admit, I love it too. I can't deny that. I mean, who doesn't want money falling from the sky? And then you could trade it for Bitcoin, or maybe even be a little risky with it and trade altcoins to see if you can make more Bitcoin. You probably can't. Chances are you probably can't, unless you're like the 1 or 5% who can, you know, who are willing to dump the altcoin to make more Bitcoin. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that. A lot of people more often are more interested in the fiat value, the US dollar value, than they are actually interested in getting more Bitcoin. Although they would make a lot more money if they did get more Bitcoin. All right, then also in the notes section, partition underneath that is a lot of useful links, Segwit charts, if you want to keep up with the Segwit adoption. Coin Codex, which is a listing platform very similar to CoinMarketCap.com. Another one is Live Coin Watch, CoinGecko, BitInfo Charts, Joho's mempool statistics. For those of you who are interested in finding out what the appropriate fee should be, this is a very good site to determine what fee you should use. Salome.io, social volume. This site is also a listing platform, measures social volume. So a lot of these coins they're not a company. They don't produce anything. They don't offer any services. The only way you can drive or influence the price is through social media. So this site measures the social media of each cryptocurrency and corresponding with their price, or I should say their social engineering. So you could tell what coins are being pumped and what coins are being dumped. Transaction accelerator, just in case you need it. I don't know. I think I checked this morning, the mempool, I think it was at 20,000. Let's see what it is now, because usually it's higher during the day in North American time. If you want more specifics, since I've been watching it, it starts around 8 a.m. New York time, Eastern Standard Time, and ends around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the volume starts dropping off in the mempool. All right, and then what else do I have? Oh, I have a link to Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash hash rate, historical 6 month chart for those of you who want to compare the two as far as hashing rate. And then also in the notes section partitioned off, I have, can Bitcoin be replaced via multiple hard forks? James Bond interview on Crush the Street, published November 9th, interviewed November 7th. I say some very interesting things there. Check it out, please. Also, if you're still trying to get your Bitcoin Gold, most people should already have their Bitcoin Gold and probably already been trading it, probably, maybe not. But if you still haven't, I have a link to that, collecting your free Bitcoin Gold coins with Coinami. It's a link to the support desk. I also made a video. If you know you hate to read but you like watching videos, I made a video how to split Bitcoin Gold BTG01. There's a link for that. And if you don't have Coinami wallet because you're an Android user and for whatever reason you can't use Coinami, there's the mnemonic code converter that should also help you in splitting your Bitcoin Gold. And I also have a link to Bitcoin Gold, but I would not recommend going to that site because it might have some kind of virus that would steal your Bitcoin. All right, and then also in the notes section, I have here some interesting articles. If you watch this video and you saw an ad for BitConnect by Craig Grant or his mistress, Juliana, trying to convince you that BitConnect's the greatest thing since sliced bread and you'll become a millionaire, well, you may want to read this article first before you put all your life savings into it. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high-yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? And then just in case, again, if you hate reading, I have a video, James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017, where I interview 3 BitConnect users. 2 of them rage quit. One of them was actually stupid enough to stick around to let you know where you could find him. And I had a 4th guest who was not involved in BitConnect at all, and even he can tell that BitConnect is a Ponzi. All right, and then I also had a special appearance by Ozzy the BS Filter, the BS Filter. As far as I know, he's still confused on whether BitConnect is a scam or not. All right, then finally and lastly, in the note section, I haven't finally partitioned off in the last part is the video theme for this video. Toto, the turtle, flips back on its feet. So check out that video. If you ever wondered how turtles get off their back and get back on their feet, well, this is usually how. But it also shows you why turtles flop or flipping onto their backs. How they get flipped on their backs. They usually try to climb or get up on something that's usually taller than them, and they can't handle it, and they end up falling backwards on their back. And then I have a link to hashtag yes2x89. This is the meme you're looking at right now. There's a link for that. And then I have a link to Pot of Gold, the Bitcoin Pot of Gold, and have the donational address to the Bitcoin Pot of Gold. So please donate to it. All right, let's see who's all in the live chat. Brian, you made it first. Congratulations. Ken Bozak, how goes it? And then Dual Overhead Camnus, welcome to the live chat. Fud Machine. Patrick, nice to see you. Looks like you made it on time. It's early. And then 21 Million Club. Hey, thanks for always showing up. Appreciate it. Beauty Bubble. Hi there. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams late at night. Let's see what else here. Crypto Cotter. The cashioning. Well, I don't know if the cashioning is going to happen, but I think beginning of this month and into next year, we'll find out if the cashioning will happen. Well, we're also going to find out if the Ethereum is also going to be a part of the flippening that people always talk about, but everyone always seems to land on their backs when they're trying to climb the Bitcoin wall. Yes, 21 million. Don't worry, I will eventually pump your Bitcoin tinfoil. Just make a post on bitcointalk.org, and I'll put a link into it. That's all you have to do is just make the original post, and then I'll put a link to it, and then eventually somebody will be gullible enough to actually co-opt it and do an actual hard fork. And what's up, Richie Rich and Matt Wilkinson? Welcome. Welcome all. And Andre Barnwell. Hey. All right, thanks. All right, let's get on with the meme here. Flippening. Now, we've heard this so many times. We've heard it with what? Dash, Ethereum. Now it's going to be Bitcoin Cash. So many times have we heard the flippening. But if you watch the video in the notes section of what is it, Mr. Toto the turtle flips back on his feet. If you watch that video, you'll understand why or how turtles end up on their backs to begin with. They end up on their backs to begin with because they usually try to climb a huge wall that obviously they can't climb over, and they end up falling on their back. And they have to do this weird contortion to flip back on their feet, which is kind of interesting to watch. But anyways, that's the story for today, the flippening. Will Bitcoin Cash overtake Bitcoin? I don't think so. They have a huge hurdle in front of them. I haven't heard anybody actually like use their Bitcoin Cash because it's locked up in Coinbase or on Bitstamp or probably in their cold wallet, which they're not interested in getting any Bitcoin Cash. So once it becomes available, like Bitstamp and Coinbase, I think we're going to see the real true price of Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Hello, Q Burrow. How you doing? All right, so let's go on with the story here. Let's see what's up here. Oh yes, Bitcoin pot of gold. I haven't checked it. I think it's still like it's probably up to $90 worth of Bitcoin. I still need someone to donate into it to give the 8th clue to the 8th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed, unless someone's already trying to crack it. So, but it's, you know, let me see. It's still, what do you need? You need is it 16 more words? I think it's 16 more words. So 16 more words. That's still quite hard to crack, but not impossible. The QR code on the right is the encrypted private key. So there's two ways of winning this treasure hunt for the most part. You can either guess the remaining 20. Well, you can guess or figure out the 24-word mnemonic seed based on the 7 clues I've already given. Every time it goes up $10 or someone donates to the $10 increment, the price has gone up. So people didn't really donate $80. You know, they probably donated only like 30, and it's only gone up to 80. But you can figure out the mnemonic seed, or you can try to figure out the password of the encrypted private key. Now, keep in mind, this is a SegWit address. And so you either have to have a SegWit wallet, or you know how to use the private key in a SegWit sender, so to sweep the private keys. Anyways, good luck to you. And also the QR code on the bottom right there, if you use a regular barcode scanner, takes you to another YouTuber, Yellow Fever for You. He's the one that gave me this idea. So thank you, Yellow Fever for You. All right, so here is my new list of altcoins to dump to get more Bitcoin. So this is the bond trading view. This is on on-chain FX, OCFX. Useful, very useful. Another listing platform, I guess, or trading. I guess it's a trading view platform. I find it useful because it allows me to flag coins and then share it with you as a link, and it also lists. I give it a name, Bond Trading View. It's view created by James Bond Bitcoin Live. List of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high. And it's flagged for shorts. So here it is. This is where it's flagged, and they're listed by priority. The altcoins on top have a very high priority because they're probably going to give you the most amount of Bitcoin. So these are coins that you should probably be looking to exit or dump right now or in the near future because they offer the most amount of Bitcoin. All right. And then on the bottom are probably low priority, but something you probably want to watch because they tend to move up and down day by day. And I do this every day. I also go over them. So the list is getting shorter, so I could probably go over those today, all of them. And on this listing platform, you'll see that the Bitcoin dominance is at 59.33%. So very impressive. All right, I'll get to this later. Let's go on. I'll get on to some of the things I want to talk about. This is coming from Bits Online. And here you go. This is the CEO of Bitstamp. What's his name? Nejc Kodrič. And it says here, what does it say? It says, consumers will decide if Bitcoin Cash succeeds, says Bitstamp CEO Nejc Kodrič. And so let me read the first part here. Top 3 USD exchange Bitstamp is agnostic about the currencies it offers to traders, says CEO Nejc Kodrič. In an interview with Bits Online, he said it was a market-based decision to introduce Bitcoin Cash trading on the platform starting this week. And ultimately, consumers will decide what succeeds. So this is going to be interesting. Will the flippening happen this month or beginning of next year? I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who are waiting to get their Bitcoin Cash if they haven't already split it, especially Coinbase users, obviously Bitstamp users. And then, of course, you need a place to actually trade other than BitThumb or maybe even, what's that, Shapeshift or anything like that. And so I have a feeling as more and more exchanges start opening up the trading platform, we're going to actually see the real price, because I do think Bitcoin Cash is overpriced because it's been pretty much only on a very few exchanges, and most of it's on BitThumb, and BitThumb is kind of known for over exuberance on their trading platform. When they got Ethereum Classic, they pumped up Ethereum Classic. When they got Monero, they pumped up Monero. Now they got Bitcoin Cash, they pumped up Bitcoin Cash. They're pumping up Bitcoin Gold. I mean, all sorts of stuff over there. But that's a very small percentage of people probably really trading versus the overall community. Now we're going to have different various exchanges go on, and we'll find out. We'll find out. Are people going to dump? Are people going to buy? This is going to be interesting. We'll find out. So let's see what else is down here that we can talk about just a little bit. If there's any quotes, well, there's an interview here, so there's a lot of Q&A. If you ask me, was there really a Q&A? If you know anything about PR and PR relations, most likely these questions were given in advance, in which these were replied by email, and then they were put on here. So these are probably carefully orchestrated answers. And so I wouldn't read too much into them, but they are the official answers of Bitstamp. So just go down here. So go ahead and check it out. Very interesting read. And also get ready to start trading. Get ready to start trading your Bitcoin Cash. So get ready for that. All right. So here's another one also on Bits Online. Now this is the other flippening, the flip-floppening that I hear almost every other year of some kind. There's some altcoin that's always going to take over Bitcoin. If it's not Litecoin, then it's probably Ethereum. If it's not Ethereum, it's now Bitcoin Cash. And if it's not Bitcoin Cash, it's like some other coin that's does something that Bitcoin doesn't, and they're doing something that is different and unique. There's always something that's always coming after Bitcoin's dominance. Well, this Coinbase OG, I don't know what the OG stands for. Is the original gangster or something? But Olaf Carlson-Wee, Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in 2018. Now, Olaf Carlson-Wee is known for being like the first Coinbase employee. He started his own, I guess, hedge fund, Polychain Capital, which I believe he runs out of San Francisco or something. Now, he's a big-time Bitcoin investor and apparently a big-time Ethereum investor. And I have a theory on why he is trying to state that Bitcoin or Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in 2018, because I think in 2018 there will be an attempt to go to a proof of stake with Ethereum. Now I say will be an attempt because so far they haven't been able to. I think they're trying to garner more money. That's why you're seeing the price go up recently to an all-time high, as they're playing with or touting this proof of stake to investors, and people are eating it up. The investors are buying in, and the only way that Ethereum can truly overtake Bitcoin in market cap is if they inflate the amount of Ethereum that's in circulation. So the price will not overtake Bitcoin, but the quantity of Ethereum that is created out of thin air, well, that's what's going to push the total market cap of Ethereum over Bitcoin. That's my theory. That's my theory. Of course, I don't know. Maybe it'll take over for like temporarily. If this is going to happen, people are going to obviously go to start staking and make super master nodes and everything. And there's too many people who have already, I think, got in. And nobody knows if this is going to be successful. So people are taking a huge, tremendous risk in doing this. But I have a feeling that just like any other sales pitch or any other scheme, that it's probably overvalued or overplayed. And once it gets to a certain point where if they actually do go to proof of stake and they start staking coins, the inflation will be so much that possibly market cap value, it could take over Bitcoin. It could, as just purely market cap. That's because if no one's selling their staked coins, right, they're all holding it onto it. It could remain the same price. Let's say it stays 500, but all of a sudden, instead of like 90 million coins, there's all of a sudden, let's see, 200,000 million coins, or would that be 2 billion? I'm not sure. Whatever, let's say there's 200 million coins now instead of 90 million coins. Well, it's going to stay, at that price as long as no one dumps their coin. But eventually, as soon as people get the maximum amount of value from these staked coins, they're going to be dumping. And yeah, it may temporarily take over Bitcoin on the surface. But I have a feeling if they do go to a proof of stake, and it may not be tested, you know, a lot of people are going to start dumping. You know, they want their original investment back. They'll dump all the state coins that come into existence. And, you know, will the exchanges handle it? Will there be enough greater fools to absorb all those extra staked coins? I don't know. I don't know. These are bold statements. The only way I think Ethereum could surpass Bitcoin is literally through inflation. Now, I'm not talking about price inflation. I'm talking about supply, Ethereum inflation. And that may be the reason why there's a recent price rise in Ethereum, is because people are anticipating, probably on inside information, that they will be going to a proof of stake soon. And people are going to be staking, going to do masternodes. And then all the mining will disappear. And I think that's also the other reason why you're seeing a lot of initial fork offerings, IFOs, Bitcoin hard forks. So you're looking at a lot of them coming up. A lot in December, apparently. There's like 4 that I know that are in December. 4. So, and then probably more in January. And if Ethereum does go to a proof of stake, you'll probably see even more hard forks of Bitcoin with Equihash algorithm, which seems to be the preferred algorithm for hard fork coins, as well as new coins. There's actually a whole bunch of newly created coins that have the word Bitcoin in them. There's like Bitcoin, what is there? Bitcoin Go, and then and that's not a hard fork. That's just a new coin that they created that just co-opted the Bitcoin name. I think there's another one. Was there? Anyways, I think there's quite a lot of coins that are being created that look like hard forks. They're not hard forks. They're just co-opting the name Bitcoin, and they're going to implement Equihash GPU mining. So, interesting article. Definitely take a read. So this is the other flippening that I don't think it's. I don't know how real it is. You know, people say outlandish things when you have when you're Bitcoin rich and you have a lot of money and you happen to have a lot some Ethereum and you're thinking that you can influence the market. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any Ethereum, so I'm not biased in any way. Ethereum is barely a 2.5-year-old currency, or virtual machine. I really hate. You know, Ethereum has not gone through a downturn, a bear market, and it'll be interesting to see if these meth heads, these F heads or meth heads, I like to call them, how they handle themselves during a bear market. Because so far, none of them have been through a bear market. They've all right now are experienced, since the creation of Ethereum, since the beginning of Ethereum, Ethereum has experienced nothing but a bull market. And then as soon as these F heads are going to experience a bear market, they're gonna understand what it feels like to be being dumped on all the time. And can they absorb? All right, can the market for Ethereum absorb all the dumping? Because that is going to happen. And people like Olaf here, well, he's the one that's going to be dumping on you because he doesn't want to take a loss. He doesn't want to lose money, right? At the end of the day, these people cash out to cash. They may believe in the project as long as it makes money for them, but they're not going to believe in the project when it becomes a loss. They will dump on you. So anyways, let's see what's next. All right, here is a op-ed, and it's an interesting read. It's coming from Bitcoin.com. It says, "Meme chart mania. Is this the tip of the iceberg, or have we already hit peak Bitcoin. Now, this is very interesting. It's an opinion article. Let's have a look here. I'll read the first portion here. The White House discussing Bitcoin. The Big Bang Theory discussing Bitcoin. Katy Perry and Warren Buffett discussing Bitcoin. Bitcoin web search exceeding those of Donald Trump. Can you believe that? Bitcoin web search on Google has exceeded web search for Donald Trump. It's exceeded Ethereum. If you do some analysis on Google search, Bitcoin way exceeds Ethereum. If you do a analysis on Ethereum, it's like way low. Like no one's Googling Ethereum. Only the meth heads like really believe that Ethereum is like the greatest thing ever and will overtake Bitcoin. Only those people. Of course, they have like an incentive to believe that. They're not realistic. They're not even objectively looking at the facts, at statistics. They really believe that Ethereum is the greatest thing since mankind invented the wheel, and everybody's going to tokenize everything. You know, we're all going to tokenize and go on the Ethereum blockchain. The only thing they're toking is probably weed. That's what they're toking. Hey, how you doing, Flapping Plemis? And so let me continue. Sorry about that rant here. There's no such thing as a quiet week in Bitcoin, but even by its usual agitated standards, this one's been noisy. Celebrity hangers on come and go. I don't know what the hell that means. Come and go, and generic sitcom moves on, but Bitcoin refuses to let up. By all reckoning, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But what if we're all wrong? What if it turns out that this is as good as it gets? Interesting. I don't know if this is as good as it gets. I think, you know, Bitcoin has always surprised me. Just when I think it's good as it's going to get, it just keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. And, you know, there's more in line for Bitcoin. I mean, there's possible side chains, although side chains have, I'm not too sure about side chains, if they're really going to work, or these drive chains that are coming around and people are talking about. But if they do come around, that is going to kill the market for Ethereum, because now Bitcoin will essentially do the things that Ethereum was supposed to be good at. It was, you know, if these side chains and drive chains and you know, second layer solutions come to Bitcoin in the coming years, that's essentially going to kill most of these altcoins and everything that they claim that they had over Bitcoin. You know, especially Ethereum, with the whole SEC kind of coming down on their tokenized assets being security. Initial fork offerings, all these forks of Bitcoin are also killing a lot of the, in my opinion, are extracting a lot of the money away from these altcoins, and it's definitely benefiting a lot of Bitcoin users. So, and also it's also put a lot of risk to Bitcoin users. Trying to claim your forked coins has cost people all their Bitcoin, unfortunately. So anyways, let's see what else this author has to say. Let me see here. Just the tip. If this is the tip, and I love the memes that they put in here, you fool. This isn't even my final form. Love the memes. Love the memes. We seem to be living in a meme world, meme society. So let's just continue. The age of Bitcoin is just beginning. Could there be? Is it possible? Well, here's a graph. Here's a graph that kind of shows what some people think we are in a certain stage of technological revolution in Bitcoin. And as you can see right here, we are right here in the interruption phase, but beginning in the frenzy phase. So you're looking at 2008, 2017, and finally we're going to get into the frenzy where it says crash. There'll be a crash here, comparable to the bubble, the web bubble, the .com bubble. You know, so if it goes to like 100,000 and crashes to like 50,000, I'm okay with that. You know, if you bought in your Bitcoins early enough, you should be okay. All right. And then there's the synergy, right? And then this is where you're getting some adoption and some application, widespread use and application, and then deployment phase, and then consolidation. So this is the basic S curve that people always talk about as far as application. I think right now we might be in a speculative S curve. That could be possible, but as far as a use S curve, we're probably not there right now. I just use Bitcoin to sell to other people, and they use it for whatever they want to use it. That's probably the greatest, you know, use so far. Potential other uses we haven't even discovered or don't know of, because really there's nothing being built on top of Bitcoin yet. You know, there's possibilities of these side chains, as well as RSK Labs doing these drive chains and all these other things, where you could take a portion of your Bitcoin and make essentially an infinite amount. Essentially, not infinite, but you can make a lot more fractional amounts of Bitcoin, and then use those colored coins or side chains to basically use as a utility or experiment with different things. You know, whatever other altcoins are pushing. If you want to do a governance, you can do governance on some colored coins or side chains. You can actually do some voting. You can do some kind of DAO. You can actually probably even do like a smart contract. So a lot of these things that are being touted by these other altcoins, you know, they're slowly being built on top of Bitcoin. So a lot of future things are coming. Is this the beginning, or have we hit peak Bitcoin? Let's find out. Let's find out. So here's another graph from Blockchair. A number of Bitcoin addresses with positive balances. Well, I don't know any Bitcoin address that has a negative balance. But I think this is a little misleading. Ever since 2013, if you see here from December 2012 to December 2013, it's doubled. It's literally doubled. So it's kind of almost doubling. It's actually gone a little, yeah, it's doubling, and it's exponential. But I have to admit, with the wallets these days, they have HD wallets. And so, of course, one user may have potentially, you know, dozens or even hundreds of addresses full of Bitcoins. So, you know, I think this could be a little misleading. Even, you know, even to a certain degree, Ethereum wallets and basically all wallets, you know, you may have one user that has 100 or a million wallets. We don't know that. So a measure of wallet balances may not be a good measure, but it does look nice on a chart, on a graph. It looks like people are like, it makes it look like there's more adoption. Now here's another graph. Now this graph I have an issue with, but let me just go over it here. It says Bitcoin's 1,034% run up this year, in 1 year, in 2017, compared to a decade-long trend in other historically huge market moves. Now, I think this is a little unfair comparison, because this author is taking the graph of 1 year of Bitcoin, 2017, which has gone up 1,000%, which is 10x, which is awesome. Okay. It really is. It's awesome. Now, some of these other markets, he's comparing them over a 10-year period. Now, if you took Bitcoin and you took it out to 10 years, I think Bitcoin's only about going to be almost 9 years. So if you took it out and you compared Bitcoin to everything else, it's actually comparable to gold. So gold has the same thing as Bitcoin. It has this thing where it starts here and then it slowly rises up. Now, if you took Bitcoin, you'll see Bitcoin does the same thing, and then it slowly goes up and hits probably up here because Bitcoin price is higher than gold price, at least on a per ounce versus one Bitcoin. Now, all these other ones, it's a little unfair to have them, span a course of 10 years. It makes it look like Bitcoin's in some kind of huge bubble. But if you took it out again, if you took Bitcoin through the 9 years since its inception, it would look more like the way gold looks right now, except the Bitcoin price would be like probably up. Well, it's probably up here, but it would do the same thing. It would just be gradual, 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 and then it'll just finally curve upwards, like gold. So in some ways, I think Bitcoin is kind of like gold, very similar. And so I'll take a look at this. This is the green line is the U.S. home price since 2001 to 2011. In comparison to Bitcoin or gold, as far as percentage, you'll see that home prices, the housing bubble, it's actually seems pretty tame. Next after that, this is the Japanese stock, which is in red. Japanese stock, 1983 to 93. The lost decade begins right here. And so if you look at this, basically the Japanese financial markets, their stock markets, when they started rising and crashing, Bitcoin looks pretty tame, or Bitcoin makes this look pretty tame. Now here's the .com right here, the blue one, NASDAQ Composite 1994 to 2004, the .com bubble. Now that's probably the closest thing you'll probably see to movement in price. But even then, Bitcoin, if you compare it to Bitcoin, it makes the NASDAQ, the .com bubble, look very tame. So, but I think it's just a little misrepresenting, but you get the point. Bitcoin's gone up a lot this year. Let's see here, and then here's some counter argument. Peak Bitcoin is already here. So you got a picture of Katy Perry talking to who was that? Gosh, I forgot the name. Hold on. Let me see. What is the name of that person? Warren Buffett. That's right, Warren Buffett. So you got a picture of Katy Perry and Warren Buffett. So very funny. Hey, how you doing, DD8209? You made it just in time. Okay, you have a question here. It says, I have a question. If the Fed didn't print up all that fiat for the last decade, would Bitcoin have this much appreciation? Probably not. Probably not. The same reason why gold hasn't, gold has gotten a lot of appreciation as well. But then again, the stock markets have also appreciated. So, if the Fed didn't probably do these quote unquote quantitative easing, yeah, you probably wouldn't have seen an inflation in other assets like your stocks and to some degree your home and probably Bitcoin and gold and other precious metals. So oddly enough, you haven't seen inflation in other consumer goods, not as much. Like I've seen the price increase on like milk products. I've seen prices increase on food products. Gas or energy costs have, where I live at least, have gone down. So not all things usually trend or correlate to inflation. Again, maybe it's because the pairing of petrol oil and U.S. dollar Maybe that's the reason why energy costs have gone down with the inflation, petrodollars being pegged to oil. Energy costs have gone down through that kind of quantitative easing. So maybe, but I do think in the inflation does have some kind of representation in the Bitcoin price. I think there is something to it, or I think people are inflating the Bitcoin price using the fiat. That's for sure. That's one way of doing it. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what some of the counter arguments are. Let me see. The counter argument: peak Bitcoin is already here. So this is one of them. Let me see. January. Okay, in January, futures trading rolls out, but proving the maxim: buy on the rumor, sell on the news. An overbought Bitcoin market slumps to 8,000, and a bear phrase sets in. I think that might be possible. Hey, Crypto Kerbit, nice to see you in the chat room. Yeah, I know Bitcoin.com is a propaganda for Roger Ver, but it's a good read. You know, when I read this stuff, when I read the bad stuff that might happen, I do have to consider that because, you know, anything's possible until it happens. Now, do I think the futures market, like a lot of people are talking about the futures market and how it may, people are going to start shorting Bitcoin. Well, the only reason why people buy shorts on the futures market is because they have Bitcoin. And what they're doing is they're hedging against losses. So if I was, and that's a smart thing to do, because let's say I'm a company or I'm a hedge fund company and I bought a lot of Bitcoin and I want to protect myself just in case the price of Bitcoin falls. I want to maintain my profits or not lose as much money. So what do? I buy futures contract, right? And I buy shorts because if it does short, I don't have to sell my Bitcoin. I could still hold on to my Bitcoin without worrying about losing money. And then I buy the contract, or I buy the futures contract for shorts. And if it goes below a certain price, obviously I made money, but I didn't have to sell my Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? So having a futures market, I think, is going to help because there's really no way to really short Bitcoin. And because the only way to short Bitcoin is you have to have Bitcoin to dump on the markets. So the only way to do that is to get into mining. And the only reason why miners dump is to recover their cost of producing Bitcoin and confirming or putting transactions into the block, right? So miners have always been a how can I say this? Miners have always been a selling pressure on the Bitcoin price. That's never changed. All right, but I think the fact that the design of Bitcoin, how the block rewards are halved, has greatly contributed to the price increase to keep the miners mining and reinvesting into mining rigs and mining farms. So the only people who are going to push down the price are probably the miners because they have to. They have selling pressure. They have to pay bills. They have to make a return. They have to reinvest. They may even want to buy into the futures. If miners had an option to buy futures, right, they could hold on to their coins longer and don't have to dump them. They could actually sell at a profit, and they can also hedge against Bitcoin price falling with these future contracts. They have to pay for them. So the worst case scenario is they never execute on their futures contract, and they just pay for the contract, and somebody makes money on the sales of those future contracts. So that's what I think. That's just my opinion on that. Let me see what else does this author say. February. Okay, so following in February, right here, as he mentions, February, following months of speculation over its balance sheet, Bitphoenix Tether collapse, taking over $1 billion in customers' funds with it. Now, I don't know if you all heard, but there was Mr. Chris Ellis on Twitter, who also works at Bitphoenix, kind of already gave us a heads up that Monday, Bloomberg will be, I think, writing a story about Bitphoenix, and it's going to make it sound like Bitphoenix will collapse, creating another Mt. Gox. Now, my take on that is, if that's true, let's say tethers are worthless. Well, what would you do? What would I do? Well, if I did have any tethers, or if I was trading on Bitphoenix, Bittrex, Poloniex, and I had tether, I would dump all my tether and buy Bitcoin and pull my Bitcoin out. And that would drive up the price like crazy. Yes, the bag holders of tether would get hurt, but that would only mostly affect, first of all, tether. That would affect Bitphoenix. That would hurt the ecosystem. You might see a price crash, but I would make the assumption that if people were smart and they saw the writing on the wall, they would have already bought all their Bitcoin and taken them off the exchanges. So you would see a run up in the price, like really going crazy. Because think about it, there's over almost $1 billion worth of tethers now. Almost $1 billion worth of tethers. Like in a couple more, by the end of this year, we'll probably have $1 billion worth of tethers out in the wild. And so somebody's buying Bitcoin with those tethers, or someone's buying like Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever. Someone's buying these coins. If you were smart, you would be buying Bitcoin, be like putting it in your cold storage out of the exchanges. So you know, I think there would be a drive up in the price before you would see a crash in the price. Okay, so let me see March. Let's see what other scenarios this person has. A successful terror attack on American soil, funded from the Middle East using Bitcoins, prompts President Trump to issue a crackdown on cryptocurrencies. Well, that would be bad for the entire market. That would be bad for like Ethereum, Litecoin, all the altcoins. That'd be bad for probably even for all the scam coins out there. You know, if that was the case, then they would have to crack down on the whole ecosystem. That would crash the whole market, all of it. Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, everyone. So his little scenario here, it's a little over the top here, in my opinion. And last I heard, I haven't heard any terrorist organization use cryptocurrency or use Bitcoin. Although I've read reports Iran is using Bitcoin, but I think they're not using it for terrorism. I think they're using it because they have an embargo, and so they're going around. They're value routing. So they're trying to get money flowing in and out of the country because of sanctions. I don't think they're funding terrorism all over the world, you know. So little off the top, a little crazy on that last one. Okay. All right, and then of course you've all seen this. I've seen this as well. I've shown this to you. I made videos. I think I made some videos about the bear market when Bitcoin price was, I think it hit around 6,000 and started going down. So when the price of Bitcoin ranged around 6,000 to 5,000, I was like talking about the bear market. I even showed this same graph to people, and I was wrong. And so here's the thing: when you make a call and you're wrong, and the bear market never comes, you have to reevaluate your chart analysis. Okay, so when things don't work out as expected, don't keep doing the same thing. Don't keep saying there's going to be a crash. There's going to be a crash. Like eventually you're going to be right. A market crash will happen. A bear market will come. But if you're wrong, like like the 99 times, then you're right that one time when the bear market happens, does that mean like you're a genius? Does that mean like you're like some kind of, you know, cryptocurrency wizard? No, it just, you know, like every dog has their day. What's important is if you're not right that first 99 times, you may want to reevaluate why you're not right. You know, it's not always about being right. It's figuring out why you are right and why you're wrong as well. If you're wrong about a bear market coming, then you should reevaluate and do a chart analysis on why a bear market never came. So that should really help you. So I've shown this chart many times around the 5,000 to 6,000 price range on Bitcoin. I was wrong, and I had to reevaluate. And then that's when I had to change. I had to say, well, if I'm wrong, obviously there is no bear market. We're still in a bull market. So don't point to this so early. I've seen it again. Even Tone Vase has shown this, and he was wrong. He was wrong. He probably doesn't like to admit that he was wrong, but he was wrong, right? Obviously, we're nowhere near a bear market. So you know, you have to get confirmation. And I was trying to guess it, but in the end, I was wrong because we never got a lower low. Like you have to have 2 consecutive lower lows and 2 consecutive lower highs, and then you have the beginning of a bear market. But until that happens, you have to. I know it's unbelievable. A lot of people probably shorted the market or are still shorting the market in disbelief. But you have to, you know, if it's not in a bear market, then and the price is not going sideways, it's in a bull market. All right, it's in a bull market. You know, it doesn't matter how you feel or what you think. What does the price say? Does the price keep going up? Well, guess what? We're still in a bull market. So anyways, I've shown this, and that's my mistake, and this is probably going to be the author's mistake showing this. A lot of people showing this, and so far they've been proven wrong. All right, so anyways, that's that. I find this a very interesting read. You know, go ahead and read it for yourself. Always, there's nothing wrong with you know, exercising your mind and thinking about things. That's what I always recommend. And if it helps you get a better understanding of the market, you know, whether this is written for or against Bitcoin, I think there's some value in reading it. Hey, how you doing, Surgency? All right, let's see what else here. Let's see what else we have. Okay, here's another one. Okay, here's the one that I wanted to share. Here's the other. Are you ready for okay, so there's the Lightning Network, right, in which there's a second layer or maybe a third layer in which, you know, you could do Bitcoin instant transactions. You just have to open channels and all this other stuff, a spoken hub and all that. Well, now there's Lightning Bitcoin. This is an actual hard fork. Okay, it's another Bitcoin hard fork scheduled for December 23rd. So a few days before, you know, a Christmas holiday, you're going to get some. Oh, well, this hard fork is going to happen, and apparently you're going to get some forked coins here. This is very interesting. It looks like it's a proof of stake coin, though. I believe it's a proof of stake coin. So I don't know if there's any mining. That you probably will have to run some kind of full node and be staking these coins. This is very interesting. Let's see here. Let's get in some here. So it is going to be on block 49999, which is scheduled to be December 23rd. Okay. So its aim is to make Bitcoin transfers as fast as lightning, or at least a maximum of 24 million transactions a day. Okay. So according to this, let's see, it's a delegated proof of stake. So DPoS, delegated proof of stake. Oh, goodness. All right, let me see. Oh my God, as I'm reading this, I'm going, okay, this is obviously a scam of some sorts. Let's see. I'm reading right here. Proof of work mechanism has long been discussed as a cause of mining centralization and network congestion. Dan Larimer. Oh goodness, Dan Larimer. Okay, I know right away this is not going to work out really well, but Dan Larimer, author of Delegated Proof of Stake white paper, explained that miner tycoons control block time and maximize their interest, which will ultimately, along with all proof of work systems, POW systems, will be controlled by the fiat system. As such, the Lightning team employs DPoS, delegated proof of stake mechanism that gives voting rights to token holders to avoid control of the system at any party, or I'm sorry, by any party, avoiding according to its official website. So, okay, so what if you're the largest token holder? Does that mean you get the largest amount of vote? So I'm not too sure about this. I haven't read Dan Larimer's white paper on delegated proof of stake. I'm assuming that the token holders will be able to vote on, I guess, whatever you want this thing to do. That's great, and it looks like it is some kind of a proof of stake. So I don't know who's going to have a chance to be. I don't know if every user will be staking. I'm not sure how it works, but already I have a bad feeling about this project. But again, you can't stop people from doing these forks and implementing their ideas. So maybe it will be successful. Who knows? You know, it will be a hard fork. So everyone who has coins will get Lightning coins. Ticker symbol LBC. I'm sorry, ticker symbol LBTC. Oh goodness. Now, this is going to be interesting because they seem to have some kind of partnership or relationship with the Bitcoin Gold team. So, what if? Okay, I'm making a joke here, all right? But please humor me with laughing at my joke. What if like the Lightning Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold got together, right? They married, they had some kind of like union together, and they created LGBTC, Lightning Gold Bitcoin. You get the pun? Get the joke? Haha. Anyways, LGBTC. Yeah. All right. You know what? That could happen. That could totally happen. Why not? That's plausible. Anyways, here's a face to it. Here's a face to it. So there you go. A lot of things happening in this crazy world. All right. All right. So there's that. Let's go on to the next one. And so let me go to. That's supposed to be lightning sound. Lightning Bitcoin. Let's go to their website. Let me see here. Okay. Lightning Bitcoin. You like that? Well, sorry about that. Sorry if that annoyed you. I hope that annoyed you enough. All right, so let's take a look at Lightning Bitcoin. Make Bitcoin transfer fast as lightning. Okay. All right, so let's see some features. Community anonymity. Let me see. Okay, so it's kind of gives you a description right here. So I'm on community anonymity. See what it says. With DPoS. Oh goodness. With delegated proof of stake consensus mechanism, voting and bookkeeping rights can be separated, which prevents abuse or control of the system by any party. Users can maintain the policy discourse as long as they possess tokens, thus achieve the true autonomy. Okay, community autonomy, not anonymity. Sorry, I misread that. Well, here's the problem. What if you are the major token holder? Does that mean all of a sudden you get to control and vote on everything that you want to do. So this can easily be taken over by 51% attack, so to speak. You own 51% of the tokens. Well, you get to basically have a corporate takeover. Okay. Let's see this one here. Rapidity. Okay. Rapidity. Obviously, this is a Chinese website. Let's read this portion right here again. It says 3 seconds per block with 2 megabyte block size. Design could support 1,000 to 10,000 transactions per second and completely solve the most contended Bitcoin congestion problem and increase the adoption and utilization. You know, this almost seems like nothing more than the Lightning Network, right? Without any proof of work mining to it. That's what this seems like, and maybe this is what it is. And essentially, all the nodes on this platform will have a full record of each other, and essentially these are nothing more than Lightning nodes. Maybe this is what this is, and then I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking out loud. I haven't read the white paper, but you can obviously Lightning has some form of smart contract. You could build obviously some kind of app on this Lightning network, as well as do proof of staking. Of course, you have to have staking in this. So this could be nothing more than Lightning, right? That's why it's called Lightning Bitcoin. It's nothing more than the Lightning Network for the most part. It seems like, from what I can read here. All right, fair distribution. Let's read fair distribution. Again, I'm reading down in here. So the original Bitcoin holders can claim LBTC, Lightning Bitcoin, at a 1-to-1 ratio. The rest will be distributed throughout foregoing in a convergent manner, while the block rewards halves in every 4 years. So maybe there is some mining involved. They're talking about block rewards. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I haven't read this white paper. So this is very interesting here. All right, smart contracts. Let's read what it says here about smart contracts. All right, with built-in smart contracts, digital assets can be issued and distributed, and applications can be built on top of blockchain, making LBTC a valuable and functional token. So it looks like a marriage of Lightning, EOS, because this is Dan Lerner's design, EOS, and Ethereum. And of course, let's see what dApps they're talking about. Let's see all the great dApps. Support all kinds of dApps, decentralized apps, development, including zero knowledge proofs included in the plan. They're gonna do some zero knowledge proofs and cross-chain atomic transactions. All right, it sounds very inspiring. Let's do the comparison here. They got a comparison of LGBTC, the LGBT, just kidding, LBTC. So their supply will be 21 million. I don't know how they're going to do that with some kind of delegated proof of stake. Let me see. Consensus delegated proof of stake. Block interval 3 seconds. Block size a dynamic 2 megabyte. A SegWit, no SegWit on this. Replay protection, they will have replay protection. Difficulty adjustment, they have none. So the fact that they have no difficulty adjustment tells me that there will be no mining. No proof of work mining anyway, not the way we think of it. And then see, mining hardware will be your CPU. So I think it's nothing more than running nodes. Running nodes, I'm right here, CPU. And then maximum transaction per day, 24 million is what they want to do. So very interesting. It looks like nothing more than maybe Ethereum on a proof of stake using the Lightning Network concept. And that's what this seems to be. So here's a roadmap. Okay, sure. So it looks like here they're going to fork on the 23rd on block height 499,999, and then on the 25th, okay, on the 25th they will have their mainnet launched. That's pretty ambitious. All right, so here's the team. Here's the team, everybody. So the oh goodness. So here's the team. Now, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not racist. I'm not racially profiling anyone. I'm not, you know, categorizing anybody, or I'm not a bigot, but I think these people are Chinese. I think they're Chinese. So all right, and here's their partnerships. A lot of Chinese exchanges. I don't understand why they have BTCC, Bitcoin China, in here. I thought that exchange doesn't exist. They stopped trading. Maybe they have OTC trades. There's Hobu, there's SexIO, OKX. So a lot of Chinese. All right, so let's see. What is Lightning Bitcoin? Okay, we kind of already know what Lightning Bitcoin is. Why use DPoS? Okay. Okay, and then how to forge Lightning Bitcoin. I'm just looking at it right now. And let me read the Lightning, how to forge Lightning Bitcoin. I think that's probably, I've already gone over delegated proof of stake. So Bitcoin holders, I'm sorry, not Bitcoin holders, token holders can vote for bookkeeping nodes who will be elected and nominated according to weighted votes received. So this is how the delegated proof of stake works, is we vote on other people basically doing the bookkeeping on their, basically being a super node, super master node for the most part. And I guess their reward for being a super master node bookkeeping node is they receive an incentive to stay honest by getting rewarded. I'm assuming with Lightning Bitcoin, LT. I'm sorry, L. What is the ticker symbol for this thing? Oh gosh, I keep forgetting. What is the ticker symbol? LBTC. Sorry, LBTC. I keep wanting to say LGBTC for some reason. Uh, oh goodness. All right. I don't know about this one, but you know, if they're gonna put their money and their time in doing it, and all I have to do is just not bother to even claim my coins and just let them do what they want to do, that's fine. You know, you can't stop people from forking Bitcoin. You know, people fork Bitcoin all the time. They make altcoins. They just don't fork off the chain and give the token holders the same amount of the new, you know, the new coins, 1-to-1 or 1-to-10. So it is different. It does kind of make me interested because I will somehow be involved just by the fact that I'm holding Bitcoin. And then all other Bitcoiners will also be some way involved and have a chance and opportunity to be in this part of this community. And in fact, you are. The fact that the day they hard fork and start this circus act, you're already involved, you know, already. So all right, so good luck to these people. This is what I wanted to go over. So anyways, the flippening, everybody. So is all this talk of flippening, is Bitcoin Cash going to take over Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think they're having. I think as soon as the exchanges, more exchanges open up, we're going to finally see what the real price of Bitcoin Cash is. Matter of fact, let's take a quick look at it. Let's close some of these out. Let's look up coin market cap. All right, going on coin market cap, and then I'm going to look at what am I going to look for? Bitcoin Cash, right? Okay, Bitcoin Cash. Let's take a look at their chart here real quick. Looks like they gotten a little bump. So here's what they look like. But let me take out the market cap. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, let's take out the price. I want to see what it is in terms of Bitcoin value. All right, so there it is. So I've cleaned it up a little bit. So now we're looking at Bitcoin value here, and it does look like they're starting to trend up a little bit, but they're still within a range. I mean, other than this unusual spike, which is basically a pump, this was a pump for the most part. The range is right around here, right here, and then at the bottom right here. And so they're basically at anywhere from a 0.24 Bitcoin to a 0.08 Bitcoin. And until I actually see some movement in Bitcoin price, there's two things that has to happen for Bitcoin Cash to overtake Bitcoin, as far as the chart I'm looking at. Bitcoin has to go down in price, and then Bitcoin Cash has to go up in price. Now there's several ways that can happen. Like Bitcoin holders can sell their Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin Cash, which I don't think is going to happen. If anything, if all the since the hard fork, if any of the Bitcoin holders have sold their Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin Cash, it's already been done. At this point, what's needed is basically you need new users to put money into Bitcoin Cash to have it catch up to Bitcoin. So you need two things after this point. You need people to sell their Bitcoin or trade their Bitcoin for Bitcoin Cash, or you need new users bringing in money to buy Bitcoin Cash. Now, the second part is probably the most likely scenario, and I think that's why you have Roger Ver with Bitcoin.com and his wallet trying to push this narrative of Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. Really trying to push that really hard. I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, Bitcoin has had almost 9 years of free media, free attention, had at least a 5-year head start above all the other altcoins, and is well known above any other coin. So it's tough. The network effect is very strong with Bitcoin. So I don't think that's going to happen. Let's have a look at the second thing here. Ethereum. Is Ethereum going to be taking over Bitcoin by 2018? All right, it's loading up. Let's take a look at it. All right, now this is just Bitcoin value. Now it does look like it's trending up. It does look like it's trending up. So, but they got a long ways ahead of them to catch up. Like if you compare 1 to 1, right? If Ethereum is really going to take over Bitcoin, I want to see 1 Ethereum equal 1 Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, I want to see Ethereum be greater, all right, than 1 Bitcoin. So either 1 Ethereum has to equal less than 1 Bitcoin, or 1 Ethereum has to equal 1 Bitcoin. That's how you know a coin has really taken over. And they're nowhere near that. They're nowhere near that. Okay. So, but they have gained value. They have gained value against Bitcoin. All right. I do admit that by looking at this chart, because it's not the chart. The Bitcoin value is lower here and higher here, not by much. Okay. They had their opportunity here at this point, which was again June 20th, 2017. But since then, they have gone down from there. They're barely keeping above this level right here, the 0.4 Bitcoin level. They're barely keeping above that. And I'm going to make the assumption as soon as they break that level, they break this 0.04 Bitcoin level, they're probably headed. They're probably going to slowly trend down to probably previous levels of whatever this is worth. What is it? 0.008, and then 0.002. I mean, you know, they're probably going to head down to this level again. Although the price of Ethereum may go up, it may go up due to their inflation or their proof of stake. But as far as Bitcoin value, I think they're not going to. There's no way that 1 Ethereum is ever going to be equal to 1 Bitcoin. I just don't believe that's going to happen. It's maybe I'm biased, and I probably am. But if I really felt that there was something to Ethereum, I would have bought some. I really would have. But because I don't think there is, and you got to remember, Ethereum is so young. It's barely 2.5 years old. It's never gone through a bear market. And you know, I bet you once a bear market happens, and a bear market will happen, that you'll be surprised. Well, maybe you won't be surprised, but I have a feeling there will be a lot of people who will abandon Ethereum in a heartbeat. You know, as soon as the money dries up, they're gone. They won't stick around. They're not going to see it through, right? Ethereum users, they haven't yet to really gone through, you know, uh, the test. You know, go through the flames of, you know, going through a bear market, the pain and the suffering. I mean, all they've enjoyed is the well, they've embarrassed themselves through the DAO hack, and they embarrassed themselves through all these other wallet hacks and parity hacks and all just other, you know, coding errors. That's about it. But they really have not suffered through what I would call like the what the market really does to you when you fall out of favor. When the market like no longer favors you, right? It hurts. It hurts your pocket and hurts your feelings. And let's see if any of these heads are going to stick around when they get their feelings hurt. I don't know about their pockets. I think, you know, some of these ETH users are like they will like blow money on Ethereum, lose it all, and then rebuy back in. They'll just keep doing this because they're really almost brainwashed to a certain degree. But if they get their feelings hurt, I think they'll quit. I think it's really that superficial for these Ethereum users. All right, so let's go into my chart here, or my bond trading view. I'll go over each one of these. This is my new list. And so let's just go over them. There's not too many, so I'll go over them. I got some time here, and we'll just have some fun. And why not? It's late night. Let's do this, and people probably be watching it tomorrow morning and enjoying the show. And so first on my short list here, on my flag short list, is Ethereum on steroids, EOS. So let's move this around a little bit. There we go. All right, let me add in. I'm going to add in the price so we can do a comparison on the price versus Bitcoin. I'm going to leave the market cap out. So I don't want to put too many lines here. So, my gosh, this thing is ugly. As far as looking at it, as Bitcoin value, let me take out the price first. So if I saw this chart, I would run away right away. I would run away from this thing as far away as possible, right? So this is really really ugly. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the price in. So I think the only reason why people are even attracted to this token is because of its fiat currency value. And again, if you know my perspective on it, the only reason why EOS has any value is probably most likely, I know it's a ERC20 token, but I believe that Ethereum derives its value from Bitcoin. Like all coins derive their value from Bitcoin. All coins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. All right. And how do I come up with that conclusion? Simple, because if you trade on an exchange, the exchange pairs it to a Bitcoin. And so you have to essentially give up your Bitcoin on the exchange so that Bitcoin goes and sits on the exchange somewhere, and then you get an altcoin. And so that altcoin's value is derived from that Bitcoin that you gave up on the exchange. So there's a Bitcoin somewhere on that exchange that's waiting for you to come back at a later time to redeem that Bitcoin, to get that Bitcoin back. And that's essentially what you're doing. So although the Bitcoin value is barely moving, as you can see, the price of the EOS is going up. A couple reasons. Ethereum price has gone up, and also Bitcoin value has gone up, right? So despite the fact that the price of EOS has gone up, look how much Bitcoin you can get for it. It's barely moved. So I'm going to zoom in closer. 11:30, just 3 days or 2 days, or 3 days, I should say. I just want to take a 3-day look at it. All right. Well, yes, QBro, there is an exchange value for Fiat 2, but if you're talking about tethers, I mean, nobody cashes out in tethers. Matter of fact, if you saw the tweet from Chris Ellis, Monday, there's going to be a news report from Bloomberg that people can't cash out their tethers. So people don't cash out in tethers. Tethers aren't used for cashing out. You go in, but you never come out. The only thing you come out with are tokens, most likely Bitcoin than anything else. And so here on the 3-day, you're making some Bitcoin. You're making some Bitcoin here. But if you look at the overall chart, you're barely making any Bitcoin. If anything, if you invested in this thing from the beginning, you've lost Bitcoin. So, but on the 3-day, you are making Bitcoin, as you can see, the orange line, and it's kind of correlates with the price. Again, this is on top of my short list because you should be looking, literally looking. Matter of fact, well, you should definitely be looking for an exit because you're probably gonna, this isn't the EOS is not gonna keep going up forever. And so you probably want to look for an exit and get as much Bitcoin as you can if you haven't already lost most of your Bitcoin from just buying this thing to begin with. All right, what's next? Vertcoin. Vertcoin's on my next on my list right here. That's second on my list. So let's take out VCD, VCVT, Vertcoin. All right, we're waiting for it to load up. All right, I've gone over this before. So you see the now let me take away the green line, which represents the US dollar value. Now again, if I saw this chart, all right, if you show me this chart, doesn't matter what it is, it could be the US dollar, it could be Litecoin, Ethereum. If this was Bitcoin, if this was a chart of Bitcoin, I would probably run away. All right, I would probably run away. But thank God this is not a chart of Bitcoin. This is not even a chart of Bitcoin back in 2013. You know, this 2000, the crash of 2013 of Bitcoin looks better than this chart. It really does. But you know, here's the thing: we're in a bull market, and this is what Vertcoin is doing in a bull market. It goes back all the way to July 14th. I mean, not July 14th, July 2014. But we're in a bull market. So if you look here, all the way to the right, we're in a bull market, and this is the movement of Vertcoin. So that's, you know, if you're looking through, if you're looking to get more Bitcoin out of this coin, you may not get as much as you think you are. Now, if I add the price to it, it kind of tells a different story. All right, so it tells a different story. So like I said, all altcoins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. Once you trade your Bitcoin on an exchange for an altcoin, that Bitcoin's there, right? And everybody else who put Bitcoin into that exchange buying Vertcoin, that Bitcoin's still there, and that's where Vertcoin derives its value, from that Bitcoin. And so, you know, all you're doing is you're just redeeming using the Vertcoin token to get your Bitcoin back out. That's all you're doing. So if you look at this, I mean, yes, you made money. You probably would have made more money if you held on to your Bitcoin. So because if you look on the orange line, it doesn't look that great. But let's just check it out in the next 3 days. All right, let's check it out. All right, so yes, in the short term here, in the last 3 days, you've made more Bitcoin. You've made more Bitcoin along with more money. All right. This is a coin. You probably want to look for an exit. You probably want to look for an exit and get as much Bitcoin as you can from this. So that's just this. This part of the show is where I talk about how you can make more Bitcoins with your altcoin, because every altcoiner always tells me the only reason why they trade altcoins is to make more Bitcoin. Well, here's your chance. You can make more Bitcoin right now. So what's the next one? PPT, Populous. Populous came back off. It was off my list. Now it came back on my list to be on the 3rd spot here. So let's take a look at Populous. PPT. PPT. All right. So if you look at this, I'm going to take out the US dollar. I'm going to take out the dollar amount. All right. And you look at this, Populous doesn't look that bad, right? But it doesn't look that great either, right? It doesn't look that great. You probably could have just bought Bitcoin and done better, to be honest. Now, I can say if I look at the left side of the chart, right, where the price is higher, was the Bitcoin value higher? Yeah, it was. And if I look at the right side of the chart, is the Bitcoin value lower? Yes. Well, that's not a good investment, right? How you doing, Matt Wilkinson? So yeah, you know what? People will still buy into this. So, people will look at this chart and they'll say, "Wow, I can look how many, look how many of this altcoin I can get from, for trading one of my Bitcoin." People will do that. Anyways, I'm trying to, altcoiners, they always say the reason I trade altcoin is to make more Bitcoin. But I have yet to see an altcoiner, you know, really like make that much money compared to a Bitcoin holder, where all you had to do was just go get some Bitcoin, hold on to it, and you would have made even more money. You would have made even more money, right? Instead of making 10,000, in a year, you would have made 100,000, right? People like literally jump over, $1 million so they could pick up like $100. It's ridiculous. All right, so Populous, it looks impressive if you look at U.S. dollar value. It looks like it's going up, but again, the folly is these are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. When you give up your Bitcoin for a Populous token, which is an ERC20 token, you are literally, all right, that token is nothing more than the representation of a Bitcoin. Now, I know this is in the ERC20, which is basically you'll get Ethereum, but Ethereum, in my opinion, is also a fractional representation of Bitcoin, right? And so basically, as long as the price of Bitcoin goes up, your token, your Populous token, will also go up. But the amount of Bitcoin you're going to get from it will not. It will stay either the same or flat. The only reason it's gone up is because some foolish people have bought into, they gave up their Bitcoin to buy these Populous tokens, not realizing that what's driving the price up is the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the reason why this Populous token is going up in value. It's not because people are buying, people are not putting fiat into these things. All right, let's take a look here. Let's have a look. So yes, you're getting more Bitcoin now, but if you look at it, this thing's been going sideways for since yesterday. It's peaked out right here. Let me see here. Yeah, it's peaked out at what, 100 and 118,000 satoshis. So December 1st. Since December 1st, it's peaked out and it's going sideways. So, I don't know if this thing can go any further. The fact that it's going sideways so long and it's not going up anymore, this is probably the most amount of Bitcoin you're probably going to get out of this thing for a while. Unless, more fools can buy into it, and they'll look at the price and they're like, wow, the price has gone up, X amount. Well, if you bought Bitcoin, it would have gone up even more, right? Or you would, it's not really much of a comparison. So anyways, there's Populous. Look for an exit, people. This is probably the the time where you're going to get most amount of Bitcoins before it drops and gets off my list. Ardor has come back from the dead. ADRD. All right, so let's take the let's take the green out here and let's look at this as far as Bitcoin value. So it had its pump. It's had its pump. The best time that you could have cashed out or Bitcoined out your Ardor was June 20th. Like most altcoins, during the summer was probably the best time you could have Bitcoined out. All right, you should have Bitcoined out there, because if you started trading since the summer, you lost Bitcoin. You lost money. You have an opportunity cost lost. You lost an opportunity to make more money. So there's no denying that. As a whole, it kind of looks like in between. It looks like it could go higher, but since we're in a bull market, and all I know is that on the left side you start out as a higher Bitcoin value. On the right side you start out as a lower Bitcoin value. Well, that should tell you how your investment did. So let's add the price back in here. Let's take a look. Now, once you add the price back in, I mean, it looks great. It looks great. But again, I have to reiterate, these tokens are nothing more than a fractional representation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gone up tremendously. So of course, in US dollar terms, these altcoins will go up. But if you look at the Bitcoin value, it hasn't moved all that much right here. So let's have a look at the last 3 days and let's see how it does. All right, so last 3 days, it has gone up in Bitcoin value. So this is another coin you probably want to look for an exit and get more Bitcoin as much as you can before it starts turning the other way. All right, what else is next here? Salt. This is another ERC20 token, lending platform. You know what I think about lending platforms? They don't make any money. That's why Bitcoin doesn't have a lending platform. Because if lending platforms really did make money, then Bitcoin would have a lending platform. But all the Bitcoin lending platforms are gone out of business because they don't make money. People don't pay back the loans. All right, so let's take out. Okay. Oh my God. If you saw this chart, would you want to put money? Would you want to put your Bitcoin into this? This does not look good. And here's the thing, okay? It's not like we're in a bear market. We're not in a bear market. We're in a bull market. But look at the value of your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin, if you gave up your Bitcoin for this salt, which you'll probably end up being salty. And this thing started around September. So this is a new ICO token. You've lost Bitcoin, so you've lost money. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. You lost money. It's a lost opportunity cost. It cost you money, and you lost out. All right. So this is a bad investment of your Bitcoin. You didn't make any more Bitcoin on this. You lost. So let's add the dollar amount here. All right, let's add the dollar amount. Even with the dollar amount that I add in here, it looks horrible. It looks horrible because if you look on the left side, all the prices are higher on the left, and then when you look on the right side, they are lower. Bad investment. All right, so let's take a look at. All right, so last 3 days, you're probably making the most amount of Bitcoin right here. So let's see, in the last almost 18 hours, maybe 12 hours, you're making the most amount of Bitcoin. It's just going sideways from here, and it'll be interesting to see if it actually makes more or if it goes up higher. But again, I think you should be looking for an exit and get as much Bitcoin as you can from this salty coin, the salty ERC20 token. It's going to turn you salty, man, if you keep holding on to it. What else? Dash. Dash has moved down. It's in the middle of the list. It's probably taking a break. It's definitely not making all-time highs again. So let's take a look at Dash. All right, so let's take a look at Dash. And let's take out the US dollar, the fiat value, and let's take a look at it. I think Dash may be a decent Bitcoin trade. It could be it definitely looks like a decent Bitcoin trade. If you look at this chart, if you look at the left side, again, you look at the left side here, it's lower, and you look at the right, it's higher. So you definitely would have made more Bitcoin, but you would have had to invest in Dash like in 2014 or before. So if you want to know right before, it's actually what, the beginning of the year. So beginning of the year, if you invested in Dash beginning of the year, January 2017, you made out like a bandit. Okay, and it actually topped out. Let me see, when did it top out? Okay, it topped out on March 20th, 2017, and since then, it's been ranging up and down. So you could play the tops and the bottoms, but it looks like it's been trending down because you can see it's making a lower high, and then right here you're seeing lower lows and then lower lows, and this most likely will be a lower high. So from that point on, since March, was it March? Yeah, since March 20th, 2017, you really haven't seen a return. So if you've been buying Dash since March 20th, it's not a good deal. Okay, okay, 21 million says that Salt sold to their investors first at 25 cents per token, then sold to the ICO at a higher price. Whoa, isn't that nice? I think Salt is a fair thing. Seems like a fair deal to me. Probably not. I don't think Salt has a good chance. At least not for me anyway. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that Salt. I'd be salty. So let's add the price in here now in Dash. So here's the weird thing when I look at Dash. The price is up the highest, right? In a bull market, but the value of the Bitcoin is not at its highest. Okay, so that should tell you that Bitcoin has gone up tremendously, a lot. So let's take a look at the last 3 days here. Oh goodness, wow. No. Okay, the most amount of Dash you would have gotten in the last 3 days was like pretty much on the 30th all the way to like December 1st, and then since then it has slowly trending down, although the price is going sideways. And when I see the price going sideways, okay, when I see that, if you look at the green line, the price is going sideways, people are dumping their Dash while Bitcoin price is going up. And it looks like, Dash is maintaining, $800, $750 range. No, it's not. As soon as Bitcoin crashes, if Bitcoin crashes, Dash will also crash even harder. So what you're seeing is people just slowly dumping out of their Dash tokens to get Bitcoin tokens, and that's why you're seeing Bitcoin trending downwards, but the price of Dash going sideways, because Bitcoin's going up in value. And on top of that, Dash is, people are slowly exiting out of their Dash positions. That's what I'm seeing here. Anyways, let's take a look at the next one here. Ethereum. I think we already took a look at Ethereum. That's kind of in the middle range. It'll probably go off my list. Give it probably a couple more weeks. Monero. Let's go XML. XML is stellar lumens. XLM. The famous cryptocurrencies. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. What do you think about OK Cash? Okay. Well, you're asking me what do I think about OK Cash. Let's have a look at it real quick. OK Cash. I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to take a look at the chart and just give you my initial impressions. Okay. Well, if I this is a long-term chart, but if you bought like 2015, if you bought at 2015, I guess you made Bitcoin technically, because the Bitcoin value is lower on the left here, and it's higher on the right. Okay. But the fact that I see these very high and low peaks, I mean, the best time, again, looks like the best time was recently, September 17th. You would have gotten a lot more Bitcoin out of it. It does look like it's trending, but I think that this is nothing more than a pump and dump. Because when I look at the rest of this, there's no reason for these price movements here. You know, and when I look at this, I think people have bought in. They're slowly buying in, right? They're slowly buying in, accumulating very cheap OK Cash. And as soon as enough people have them, all they're doing is pumping. They're pumping it, and then they're dumping it. Then this was a bigger pump, right? They're pumping it big time, and then they're dumping it. And then they pump it again, and then they're dumping it. That's all they're doing. So these people who bought in before this, right? The people that bought in before this, you see the little squiggly little lines. They're just buying. They're buying in small amounts, accumulating as much as they can for very cheap, and then they're pumping it. They're pumping it to a pump group or whatever, and they're being dumped on. So this is nothing more than a pump and dump, where the people who bought in the cheapest amount are dumping on the new users, selling to the greater fool for the most part. So that's what it looks like to me. I mean, we'll take a look at the US dollar value. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And, you know, let's take a look at the last 3 days. Yeah, there's nothing impressive. If you have some, you probably want to get rid of them, because right now you're getting the most amount of Bitcoins for it. And, you know, I would dump it. It doesn't seem like anything that I wouldn't buy this. When I see like, when I see such a flat line and all of a sudden these high peaks and low valleys like that, that's just unusual. You know, it's pretty much a pump and dump coin from what I can tell. Okay, let's go back to Stellar Lumens. Thank you for that question, the famous cryptocurrencies. And welcome to the chat. Okay, Stellar Lumens, man, I have such mixed emotions on this. I know this coin is pretty much a crap coin, and so far I'm neutral on it, because if I just, and it's such a, you know, it goes back to September 2014, but if, you know, the price of Bitcoin here and here is about the same. So, you know, if you're a long-time investor or if you're a long-time holder, Stellar Lumen is a complete wash. It's a chicken scratch. You know, in other words, it's a push. You didn't make any more Bitcoins, but you didn't lose any Bitcoins. If you had an opportunity to sell it or to Bitcoin out instead of cash out, you can Bitcoin out. You Bitcoin out here, and you Bitcoin out here. And when was this? Probably during the summer, right? Yeah, May, a little bit before May 8th. That was May 8th, and then what's the other one? The other opportunity to get out of this thing. Looks like May 21st. That was the other time to get out. Other than that, if you've been trying to trade this, you've been losing Bitcoin since May the 21st, 2017. Now let's see what it looks like with if you put some money in here. So again, here's another example of a coin that is a fractional representation of Bitcoin at this point in time. It's going up. The price is going up quite a bit, all-time high, but yet it can't make an all-time high on a Bitcoin value. Take a look in the next 3 days. Well, you're welcome. The famous cryptocurrencies. You say, nice, thank you, I have some. Missed out on selling in the peak. I'm sure you're talking about the OK Cash. Wanted to know your thoughts. Hold or sell. So I guess I'm trading it for Bitcoin and just keeping an eye if it goes back that low. Appreciated. Well, you're welcome. I'm more than happy to give you my honest opinion about it. I recommend not trading any altcoins because you know, people say they trade altcoins to make more Bitcoins, but I think what happens is people trade altcoins and they end up losing Bitcoin, but you do make money because the value of these altcoins have gone up. But the only reason they have gone up because these altcoins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. And you would have just done better if you just held on to your Bitcoin to begin with. You would have made even more money. So you had an opportunity cost lost. You know, you lost out on an opportunity to make even more money. That's my opinion on it. I'm just here to help the audience members, altcoin traders, to make as much Bitcoin as they can right now. Because I don't think they're going to make any more. Because if they did, they wouldn't be begging you to buy their altcoins, would they? They would keep it a secret as long as they can. If they're making money on altcoins or making more Bitcoins on their altcoins, they wouldn't be telling anybody. All right, they wouldn't be telling anybody. They'd be like quiet, making all this Bitcoins without telling anybody. But because they're not, and they need you to give up your Bitcoin so they can get out, right? Turn you into the bag holder so they could become whole as much as they can. You know, that's what's really going on. Although, you know, yes, in fiat value you are making money, but you would have made even more money if you just held on to your Bitcoin. All right, so I'm looking at this Stellar Lumen charts for 3 days, and the fact that it's going sideways, it looks like it's petering out. I mean, it could make new highs. Who knows? It could go up again. But when I see sideways, if it's not going up and to the right, you know, there's no reason to hold onto it. If it's just going sideways now, like it is, you probably want to start looking for an exit and try to get as much Bitcoin as you can out of this. Right, so that was XML. Litecoin, let's take a look at Litecoin. I know Litecoin is always a favorite for other Bitcoiners, but you know, if you want to make more Bitcoin, you got to trade these coins to get more Bitcoin. If trading Litecoin means getting more Bitcoin, that's just me. All right, so let's take out the dollar cost on this, and then let's see what it looks like just on the Bitcoin value. 42 coin. Oh my gosh. Really? You want me to 21 million club. You want me to take a look at 42 coin? Okay, the coin that only has 42 coins in existence. Everybody's fractionally it's a fractional amount. Okay, let's take a look at 42 coins. I think it's 42, right? Wow, look at that. It's worth $24,000 because there's only 42 coins in existence. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. All right. So, all right, I've taken out the dollar cost on this, the US dollar value on this, and I'm looking at Bitcoin value, okay? So, if I didn't look at the dollar value based, like if I didn't see this at all, right? Look at this. If I looked at Bitcoin value on this, I would literally run away. I would question why I'm even looking at this coin. I really would. I mean, I would literally question why am I looking at this coin? Like, is this coin even alive? It looks like it's dead. All right, so let's see what happens if I put a dollar value on this thing. And okay, even the dollar value. Okay, okay. This chart is so messed up. It starts off, I guess 42 million coins were worth $1 million. One coin was worth $1 million. So I guess this thing had a 42 million market cap at one point. But even looking, I mean, let me take out the Bitcoin value. Maybe Bitcoin value was obscuring this. But even with the US dollar value, I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at it and going, why am I even looking at this thing? This thing is dead. There should be no reason why anybody would want to buy this coin. And here's the scary part. If you look at the volume, right here, the volume has increased. This is crazy. Oh goodness. Yeah, this I would avoid 42 coins. I would avoid this. So let's go back to Litecoin. Merch Studios, hey, welcome to the chat. All right, so let's take a look at Litecoin. So, okay, so I'm looking at Litecoin, and I know everyone likes Litecoin. I mean, they feel it's fairly mined and fairly started and all that. But if you look at the chart, it's not made too much Bitcoin for you. It's actually trending downwards. So even recently, even with all the, even right here recently, it still has not made Bitcoin for you, unless you got in like right about here, like before this little bump. But even then, if you look at the overall trend, it's trending downwards. On the left side, you start out at a higher value. On the right side, you start out at a lower value. So that's, you know, as far as Bitcoin, it doesn't look good. Now, if you bought Litecoin with your fiat currency, you made a great investment. You made a great investment. Matter of fact, you know, I think it didn't start happening until it's been recent that Litecoin has been available for fiat purchase. So if you made a fiat purchase, you made a great investment. Okay, but I'm looking towards where you can make more Bitcoin. And so if you ask me, did Litecoin outperform Bitcoin? No, it didn't. It didn't. If you take the same amount of money and you bought Bitcoin with it, you would have made more money. All right. And let's see what's next. Oh, Cardano, is it Cardano? Yeah, Cardano's next right here. ADA. So let's look up ADA. ADA Cardano. It's been hot. That's been hot. Like it's been hot for like most of November. But I think it might be peaking out. It's probably petering out. DD82. You want me to take a look at Bitbean? Bitbean. God, that's a proof of stake coin. For you, always talks to me about Bitbean. What is Bitbean? BITB. BitB. Okay, let's take a look at BitB. Okay, let's just take a look at the chart before I say anything. Let's take out the dollar value. Well, it's pretty flat until recently. So I could see that it's another. It seems like a little pump and dump coin, because it has such a long period of time. Like if you look at this, it has such a long period of time of just nothing but flatness. It's just flat. And I know this is a proof of stake coin, but if you invested like in the beginning back here to the left, it is a lower value, and right here you're ending up with a higher value. But when I see these outrageous peaks like this, like these outrageous peaks like that, and most of it, like let me see, when was, like just like most altcoins, June 6th during the summer, around summer, if you bought during the summer until now, you lost Bitcoin. Whenever I see like very flatline, low volume, tokens or cryptocurrencies, I just avoid them. Most likely, what was happening is before this time, people were accumulating these beans, buying a little bit at a time every time, and then after that, I think probably just like all or most of all coins, they were pumped during the summer, and then you were dumped on. Okay, it was a pump and dump. And then if you've been buying it or been holding it, maybe people have gone to a proof of stake. It's a proof of stake coin, so maybe people had a lot of stake in it, and no one knew, and it got pumped, and then people were dumping on it. They took all their staking coins, which were proof of stake, created out of thin air, and then you were just being dumped on. And if you look at it, it's just slowly but surely going down in value. I don't know if they had an increase in their staking rewards or what the deal is, but would I put my money in this? No, I wouldn't put I wouldn't put anything in this. But if you had them, June 6th looks like was probably around June, was probably the best time to cash out. You would have gotten the most amount of Bitcoins. But since then, it looks like you're losing Bitcoin. Let's see what it looks like on far as US dollar value. Okay, so US dollar value, it looks good. Of course it does, because again, this is nothing more than a fractional representation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin value has gone up tremendously. So as long as you are a holder or a hodler or a bag holder of Bitbean, yeah, it'll go up in value, but you'll eventually have to buy Bitcoin. And if you look at the Bitcoin part, the orange line, it's slowly going down. So I don't know. This is probably not a coin that I would recommend to anybody. So what was I? ADA Cardano. All right, so let's take a look at let's take out the US dollar value. and check out what it looks like. So this actually looks like a winner right now. So if you invested in Cardano, you're making out. You might be at the right time, at the right place. You probably want to get out. Cardano has been on my flagged for short list for some time. It's moved up to the top. It's kind of gone down to the bottom, moved up to the top. Now it's back on the bottom. If you haven't gone out of this coin yet, I would highly recommend you come up with a very good strategy as soon as possible to exit out of this coin and get as much Bitcoin as you can. It seems like this is as much as you're going to get in a long time. And a long time is not that long, since October 2nd, apparently. And so we'll take a look at this thing on a 3-day. Let's see what the US dollar value is. So this is interesting. It looks like Bitcoin value has been going sideways while the price has been going up. So it looks like people are doing the opposite. They're slowly buying into this thing. They're slowly putting their Bitcoin into this thing. So you're basically seeing a pump here in action. It's being pumped for sure. And now at the tail end, as you see right here at the tail end, now you're seeing a dip in the Bitcoin value, but you see the US dollar value still going sideways. So people are again dumping slowly, you know, to Bitcoin or maybe ERC20 tokens, who knows. But while the Bitcoin value has been going up or maintaining itself, you'll see the price going sideways. So look for an exit strategy on this. This may be the a few occasion where you're making out good on your Bitcoin. You made money on this one. XMR. Here's another one. That's Monero. All right, let's take out the US dollar value out of here and let's have a look at it. Now Monero looks like it made more Bitcoin, because if you look on the left, okay, since November 2014, the Bitcoin value is lower. On the right, the Bitcoin value is higher. So this was probably a very good investment. You made more Bitcoin out of this. Okay, just a question of when you want to cash out. Let's have a look at the dollar value. Now, even though the dollar value has gone up tremendously, you're still not getting quite as much on your Bitcoin value. Looks like it peaked out right about here. Let me see, what date is this? Somewhere around, let's see, somewhere around August 31st timeframe was probably where you got the most amount of Bitcoin value. So let's see what else is going on. Let's go into the 3-day. All right, so a lot of this is just moving sideways here for the past 3 days, other than peaking out at almost 0.019 Bitcoin. You had several chances right here, and then also right here to get out. Other than that, I mean, you probably want to look for an exit. I always say you look for an exit. If you can, you know, if you want to play this range, it seems like Monero has a range. It goes up and down as far as Bitcoin value. If you want to play the range, it looks like it can be a money maker or a Bitcoin maker. So Monero is probably one of the few coins where you can actually make Bitcoin out of this. You can probably, and I bet you Monero is probably being used to go in and out and back of Bitcoin. It probably is, and that's why the chart kind of shows it that way. As a matter of fact, I think probably more people are getting into Monero for the privacy, the anonymity of Monero, and so you got a lot of Bitcoin holders going into it and getting out of it, going into it and getting out of it, and so you could play off that range, and you could probably make some Bitcoin off of Monero. So this is probably one of the few coins where you may actually be able to make Bitcoin out of this and come out on top. And it actually has some real use. People actually will use it. They'll actually trade their Bitcoin for Monero and then get out of Monero and get back into Bitcoin some other time. So this is a viable Bitcoin maker coin from looking at this. But you're at a peak right now, or we're at a peak. It may come up to another peak, but again, if you have an opportunity to make more Bitcoin, you should always have an exit plan. All right, so let's see what other ones I have. I think I have one more. Decred. Let's take a look at Decred. Decred's on the bottom of my list. DRC or DCR. Decred. DCR. Decred. Okay, let's take a look at Decred. All right, so I'm looking at Decred here all the way back to April 16th, or I'm sorry, April 2016. Looks like you haven't really made or lost any Bitcoin, because I'm looking at it here. It's the same. It's over on the left. It's pretty much almost the same as where it started. So, so you didn't make any, you didn't lose any Bitcoin here if you stuck around that long. Probably the peak was here, which was, let me see, what's the time frame here? March 27th, 2017 was a peak, and also the other peak was right around in here, which is June 24th in the summer, of course. So since the summer of June 24th, if you've been trading this, you've been losing Bitcoin here. Let's have a look at the price real quick. Hey, Band-Aids, how you doing? Well, if you can buy the crappiest of the crappiest coin before the pump, I would agree with you. Matter of fact, if you really want to make mad Bitcoin gains, like crazy Bitcoin gains, what you really need to do is start a pump club or start a pump Slack or something, and you need to like buy these coins, the crappiest of the crap coins, like for Satoshi's amount, and you need to be buying them. And then after you buy them, then you need to start pumping it. You need to do the whole social engineering. You need to come up with fake news, fake stories. You need to hit the forums. You need to hit the Reddits, the tweets, the Facebooks, and you need to create some, frenzy about it. And as soon as you get other people to buy into it, it's kind of like a pyramid or a Ponzi. You get other people to buy into it, then you secretly sell out, or you're basically selling to these people who are buying in, and you dump out at the top of the market. And yes, you'll make a lot of Bitcoins. I agree with you, Band-Aids. You can make a lot of money. You can be the biggest gainer if you know how to do a pump and dump. So there's a lot of that, and you can probably still do that and get away with it. Although I do think as obvious as these abuses are going to be coming, or they're going to be pretty obvious to regulators, I think you can only get away with that so much before you may end up getting caught or fined or whatever. But while you can do it, yeah, you can get away with it, right? You can do anything until you get caught. All right, so here is Decred. Okay, I put the money into it. If you bought with US dollars, which you can't with Decred, not that I know of, unless you trade peer-to-peer, you made out on top. If you did buy it peer-to-peer for US dollars, you made out on top on money. On Bitcoin, however, you barely broke even. So it's one of those things where you didn't lose or you didn't win. It's neutral as far as Bitcoin value, Bitcoin gain. So let's see what the next 3 days looks like. You know, 21 million club. You said like kind of like what Ver is doing with B Trash. Is he pumping and dumping? He's doing, yeah, he is, he's got his website, he's marketing it. He's got a group of pumpers, and they're really trying to hard to co-opt Bitcoin for it to be Bitcoin Cash. Kind of like this. Let me see if I talking about this. This is what you're talking about, 21. The flippening. This is the flippening right here. The flip-floppening. So there you go. I have yet to use any of my Bcash whatsoever for anything that I do with my Bitcoin. So everyone I trade with always gives me their Bitcoin address. And I know they're talking about Bitcoin and they're not talking about Bitcoin Cash. So far they're just in cold storage. I guess you can say I'm a long time Bitcoin Cash hodler by default, because I ended up hodling the Bitcoin as well. So if you think about it, as long as Bitcoin's been around, so has Bitcoin Cash, because the blockchain, you can just follow it all the way back to the Genesis block. So technically, if you're a Bitcoin hodler, you're also a Bitcoin Cash hodler, or you have been all this time until you dumped it recently. If you dumped your Bitcoin Cash. So let's see here. Let's go back to the last thing. Okay, so here's the 3 days. And okay, so I'm looking at this. The peak was right here at this point in time, which was November 30th. That's the most you're ever going to get with your Bitcoin. After that time, I'm looking at the green here, the green line, and you can see it's going sideways. But if you look at Bitcoin, you can see it's trending downward. So basically, what's happening here in this case is the Bitcoin has been going up. People have been slowly dumping their Decreds, which gives it, if Bitcoin price goes back up, like it took a little dip, like Bitcoin took a dip here, as well as the price of Decred, and you can see as Bitcoin rebounded in price, you could kind of see that the Decred dollar value is going sideways, but the Bitcoin value is trending downwards. So what you're seeing is basically people are dumping or slowly selling out of their Decred, and they're getting US dollar out of it, but it's maintaining that $60 to $50 range, $60 to $55 range, but their Bitcoin value is going down. So that's what's happening. So look for an exit on this if you haven't already exited. The price will probably stay the same, but your Bitcoin value will go down, because most likely Bitcoin price will go up, or has been going up. Merch Studios, you say you own Bitcoin Cash before BCH existed. Well, we all did. Well, anybody who was a Bitcoin hodler, we all owned Bitcoin Cash. We all owned Bitcoin Gold. We all owned Bitcoin Silver, Segwit 2x. I mean, we all owned all of those. We just didn't know it at the time. If you had Bitcoin now in a cold storage, you technically owned all of those. You're all longtime holders of all those forks. All right, so let's see here. All right, so now that I'm done, let's go over Bitcoin now. All right, let's do Bitcoin fees. Bitcoin fees.earn. We'll take a look at the fees here. Looks like everything's in the 1 to 10 Satoshi per byte. So anything above 20, you'll probably get your transactions in the block. So let's take a look. 160 Satoshis per byte is the fee right now, which is 3,600 Satoshis for 2 inputs, 1 output. I'm sorry, 1 input, 2 outputs. So it looks like the mempool is pretty empty. Let's also go to Joho's. DD8209, you made a new meme for me? Where is it? Where can I see it? Oh, okay, you got it in there. Imager.com/SRZ3VY0. Is it safe to look at? Is it YouTube friendly? I don't want to be, looking at some nude pictures. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can copy it. Nope. Nope, I can't quite copy it. .png. Okay. I'm gonna have to check it out after the live stream, but if I like it, I'll definitely share it in the next live stream. Thank you, DD8209. I appreciate it. All right, so here's the fees right here, and it looks like the fees are digging into the 5 to 10 Satoshi range. So it's slowly eating away, and eventually it might even get to the 0 to 5 Satoshi range. Let me see. It says 30,000 fees transactions, total 30,000 transactions. So probably you're looking at a 5,000 transaction when I go to a trade block. And so you can see here this blue, or not the blue, the reddish color, reddish brown color. That's the 5 to 10 Satoshis, and it looks like it's digging into it. And again, if you look even on a Saturday, 8 looks like it starts around 8 or maybe even 6 o'clock and then ends. Looks like this one ended around 8 o'clock here. So you can see the peak times at around 2 o'clock, shortly after 8 here, and shortly after 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock and 8 in the morning, New York Standard Time or Eastern Pacific Time, is when you get the peak hours. So you could probably do a very low transaction right now and it'll go through. Let me see, let's go to trade block. All right, let me check out. I'll check out your meme right now here. Let me do this. Oh, we're still at 8,000 transactions in the mempool, and as you can see, it's slowly trending down right here. Slowly trending down. Are we at 11,000? If price go up to 11,000, I might even have to make a meme right now. So let me check out your. Let me see here. So is this it right here? Bitcoin Cash. You shall not pass. Oh goodness. Let's open this up a little bit here. There we are. Wow, look at that. Bitcoin Cash. And that's gosh, who is that? Who is that? That's from is that Gandar? Gandalf? I think that's Gandalf, right? Nice meme you did right there. Very funny. But didn't Gandalf die in this? But you're right. You know, that thing didn't pass through. So no, Gandalf didn't die. He actually lived. Well, thank you, DD8209. It looks wonderful, and I'm sharing it live here with everybody else. It's pretty funny. I like it. So Bitcoin is 11,175. I might actually have to do a meme. Let's go. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's have a look. Wow. 11,200 is the recent. Wow. It's looks like it's gonna go higher. 11,200 right here. The hourly. And so it looks like it's pushing up higher. Wow, on a weekend too. Here's the all-time high right here. There we go. And just on the hourly, when I'm looking at this, if I look at the average, it's higher than the average. It's higher than the longer-term average, the yellow line here, as well as this, what is that, white line. So it's looking really good. It looks like it's ready to push. You could even say there's a cup and handle here. There's like a little cup here, and then there's a little handle. So there's a little cup and handle trying to push it, you know. So I guess you could say that. Wow. And then I'm just going to put some other lines here just on an hourly just to get an idea right here. And let me see some other support lines. Okay. So there's some support areas, but right now it's just ranging right in here, and it looks like it's pushing up higher, and it may even break all-time high. I mean, it's just going up and up and up. I think it could be because of all these hard forks of Bitcoin and people just buying in to get extra free money, you know, getting free altcoins just for buying Bitcoin. I mean, that's like buying like a 2-for-1 deal. You buy 2 Bitcoins and you get one altcoin, a fork of Bitcoin. So everyone's getting a Christmas deal out of this. Yeah, it sure does. It looked like it shook out the weak hands and just gave everyone cheaper Bitcoins. And the Bitcoins went from the weak hands to the strong hands. And now all the weak hand people are going, oh, I missed out. I don't want to miss out. And then now they're buying back in at a higher price, which that's the way it works. That's the market for you. Yeah, look at that. Look at that nice bounce right here. You see it's nice bounce off of these lines here, and it's probably going to push higher, and it's going to drag this moving average, Bitstamp. It's going to drag this this moving average, and have it touch the bottom of that candlestick. So it Let's take out all these lines, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So yes, if this price looks like it's going to go higher, and if it does, it's this moving average right here. It's going to touch the bottom of that candlestick, and when you like 3 days later, when you look at this chart, you're going to be like, oh, it's so obvious. I should have bought like right here when it touched. But as you know, right now it did not touch, and so you know, it's all about, you know, hindsight's 2020. It makes sense when you look back and you backdate this. But you got to pull the trigger. You got to have the confidence to like get an idea of price action movement. And this is why I like moving averages. If the spot price is higher than the moving average, the trend is up. And if the spot price is higher than the short-term moving average and the long-term moving average, it's very bullish. I mean, let's not try to fight the trend here. Yeah, I guess, as much as I don't like forks, but you can't stop people from forking. You can't. There's nothing you can do. But the side effects is if it does draw more people into buying Bitcoin because they're only interested in getting an altcoin out of the deal, then so be it. That's just the market. If that's what the market wants, I can't fight the market. All I know is when people come to me and they want to buy Bitcoins, they give me their normal, usual address. And when I look at the address, it's always, I'm assuming it's a Bitcoin address. I haven't had anybody come back and say, hey, you sent Bitcoin to my Bitcoin Cash address. I haven't had that issue yet because I know everybody who buys Bitcoin, when I trade peer-to-peer, they automatically want Bitcoin. I haven't had anybody say, hey, I heard about this Bitcoin Cash. Can you give me some? I haven't had anybody come up to me yet, to this day. Even with Roger Ver, like even literally, let me see here. Let me close this out. Even with Roger Ver, like marketing and calling it Bitcoin Cash and setting up a wallet that has Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin on there, where people are confusing the two addresses. I haven't had anybody come up to me and say, oh, I heard about this Bitcoin Cash. I need some of that because I want to use it, because I need to buy something. I haven't had that yet. Nobody. So I don't know where this flippening talk is coming from. This is just utter nonsense. The real world and things that are happening in real life don't correlate to what I'm hearing over the internet. It's just not happening. So people are like living in some fantasy land about this flippening thing. I don't see it. I just don't see it. So, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's go on the 3-day. I'm not even going to put any lines on this because I don't know if any lines would help. I'm just going to look at the average and just say if the spot price is above the moving average, it's bullish. It is concerned because I know if it moves too fast, there will be a correction eventually. But right now, that correction is not happening. That's a 1-day. Here's the 3-day. 3 days is a little concerning because there's a huge gap here. Let me see. Today is going to be Sunday, so one more day. You will probably have Monday. Who knows? Maybe there Monday we'll have some bad news coming out with Tether. I know Bloomberg is going to be coming out with some news on that, and maybe they'll put some fear in the market and people will start selling. Let's have a look at the weekly. Wow, look at that weekly candle. That is a huge candle. We've had 1, 2, 3 pretty decent, humongous candles here. This is definitely a runaway. This is a runaway bull run, unicorn run, whatever you want to call it. Super Saiyan, Super God Saiyan, Super God Saiyan. I mean, whatever you want to say. It is a massive. It is a massive run. Let me put in the long-term trend line just to see, give you a good reference point of how incredible the price action has been for the year. This is 2013. If you drew this line in 2013, you probably wouldn't believe that the price would hit this line ever again in your life. Well, you're wrong. You offer me to buy all my Bitcoin Cash at 2x the market price. You said no. I probably did. Look at that. Look at that. At this point, you know, seeing the price move above that trend line, I mean, you can't deny that we're going to be hitting 3 times 7,000. You can't deny that we might be, there's a really good chance, really good chance that the next target price that I have in mind is 21,000, that it could hit 21,000. Well, here's the thing with the CME, all it does is it makes people more secure about holding their Bitcoins, you know, with the futures contract, because what people can do is they don't have to sell their Bitcoins now. They can just go to the futures contract and put a contract out for a short to hedge their long. So as long as they keep holding onto their Bitcoins, that means there's less demand. I'm sorry, there's less supply and more demand. So the fact that they're buying this, it's basically these futures contracts are nothing more than insurance. Insurance to, you know, for the market crash. But as long as these people keep holding on to their Bitcoin, holding on to the private keys, that's less Bitcoin in the open market. Less Bitcoin in the open market, then the price is probably going to go up, because there's more and more people. If more people did the same of buying Bitcoin and then buying shorts on the futures, right, the price is going to go up. It's great for CME because they'll make money. People will not execute on that contract. They're just going to get money. It's like maybe $2 or $3, depends how much you buy. It's a $200 or $300, $2,000 or $3,000 insurance, right? But if the price keeps going up, who cares? Because you're holding these Bitcoins, and they're going to go up. So what's a $2,000 or $3,000 insurance policy to hedge your long, which you have in possession in your wallet? So I think the fear of shorting is overblown. Okay, because Bitcoin's not like gold. It's not paper gold. All right, you either have Bitcoin or you don't. Have I gone for 3 hours? You got to be kidding me. You know what's sad, Richie Rich, is I got to, now that the price is above 11,000, while I did this live, I got to make a meme now. I got to make a 11,000K meme here. So I got to do that. So let's do the meme and I'll end this show. Okay, the price is going up. I mean, what can I say? If you know, maybe Monday, maybe Monday there will be like, I mean, we'll get some bad news on Monday, but I think even Tether can't dampen the price. Matter of fact, I think if there is bad news on Tether, it's going to cause a run on the exchanges. Because people don't want to hold on to their Tether anymore. They want to dump their Tether to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, whatever crap coin. You know, I would recommend buying Bitcoin, but you know, people will dump their Tether because they don't want to be a bag holder of a worthless token that they can't even redeem anywhere. So that's, you know, so even bad news about Tether will drive the price up, if you ask me, because you can, like, Tether can go down to zero much easier than Bitcoin going to zero. So that's my opinion on it. Anyways, let's close this out. Or actually, what on earth should I do? Should I do another Super Saiyan? I should probably do Goku again. I'll just do Goku again. That way, it's I don't want to. I'm already going 3 hours here. Let me see here. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here for a little bit. I'm going to open up some files. All right, so, all right, forgive me. I'm going to open up some files here. And then I'll do another Goku. I'm going to have to do another Goku, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. We'll just change the wording around and say it's over 11,000. I'm going to be doing, like, if it keeps moving $1,000 a week, every week I'm going to have to make like a meme during the show or something. It's ridiculous. All right, I'll get back to you. Hold on, I'm sharing right now. All right, excellent. All right, so let's look up where is the Goku? Make another Goku meme here. There you go. Goku Super Saiyan Blue. All right, let's open that file up. Let's see, Goku Super Saiyan Blue. I think this is it right here. Let's open that up and see what it is. Yep, that's the one. That's it. Let's see here. Image file. Make it a little bit bigger. It's only been the 10th longest show. Is that it? Well, we're going to go for, like, the longest show. We're going to go for the longest show here. Let me see here. What size does this have to be? This has to be 1280 by 720. All right, 1280 by 720. That's the usual size here. Is that right? Oops, I put the wrong 1280. There we go. All right, here we go. So let's put some text in here. I'm gonna center this thing. Okay, I'm gonna put some text in here. Let's see, what am I gonna put in here? Yeah, don't forget it's over. All right, so what am I gonna put in here? This is gonna be 150 size. It's over. It's over right there. Center that a little bit. There we go. Center that. It's over, and then let's see, what's another one we can put in here? It's over 11,000 now. We'll make this 200 size. 11,000. I'm going to center that as well. Let's get this centered. All right. Select it. Get the color range here. I'm going to put a little border. Always put a nice border around here. Let's see here. Change that here. A little border. Put modify border. I only put 2 pixels on it. 2 pixel border. Then I'm going to fill it in. Let me see here. It needs another layer right here, and then fill it in. Let me fill it in again. Make sure it gets really dark. All right. So let's take out the deselect it. There we go. That's not too bad. I think that works. And oh yeah, don't forget a Bitcoin. So let me go to my little pre-made file here. Let me see, where is my pre-made? On my prepped stuff. There it is, right there. There it is. Let's see. I think I could just move it by hand. All right, just move it just right, just so they can. Let's make it a little bit. I'm just making it transparent so I can see the fingers and everything and where it goes. And let's just make it solid. Yeah, that works. I think that works. That's my usual. Sorry, if I had more time, I would make it a little bit more creative, but that's gonna be my new meme right here, my cover right here. What is this? What am I gonna call it? Geez, save a copy. We'll just go to the next. It's gonna be hashtag yes2x90. Man, hashtag yes2x90. All right. There we go. And then okay, I'm gonna load it up here. Hold on. Let's see here. All right, so let's let me stop sharing screen because I'm gonna go to my file here. I'm gonna open it up in my file. Let's see here. Wow, it's been a good Sunday. The price is up. The price moved. It looks like it's going to break all-time highs. What else can you ask for on a Sunday night, or Saturday night, early Sunday morning? Let me see here. All right, so let's load up. I'm loading up the meme right now. All right, I'm looking for it. Let's see, hashtag yes2x90. It's loading. I'll have it up shortly here. If you're a Bitcoin holder, you're probably having a great time. I know I am. Like who went and this flippening nonsense? That's what that's all this is flippening nonsense. Like, all right, there we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. There you go, everyone. All right, so got the meme done. It's over 11,000. I can actually say that because I did it live. It's on my show. I can actually make that meme. Don't have a problem. Hopefully, it's going to break over 12,000 here by next week. And my long-term target price is 21,000. It really is. It really is. And so, unless something catastrophic happens, but with all these side chains coming in, and hopefully the Lightning Network, hopefully, and all these just the Bitcoin hard forks that are happening right away. Let's see here. Let's make sure I'm yeah, okay, I'm coming back. So with all the Bitcoin hard forks that are happening, I mean, people are buying Bitcoin, and then the futures contract, which would make hedge funds and large investors hold on to their Bitcoin. How could you not be optimistic, right? You have to be optimistic of the Bitcoin and the whole ecosystem. You've got to be a fool to short this market right now. I'm not saying that the price will just keep going up forever. At some point, it will correct. But if you bought in like at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, going up to 21,000 and coming back to like 10,000, that's not too bad. Or going back to down to 8,000 or 3,000 or 4,000, that's still not too bad. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'm going to conclude this here. I had a great time. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Richie Rich, Dual Overhead Camness, Andre Barnwell, 21 Million Club. You all stuck around. Q Burrow, great to see you. Tomcat, the famous cryptocurrencies. This is the first time I've seen you. I hope you enjoyed the show, enjoyed the channel, enjoyed the chat. Please subscribe. Let me see. Yellow Fever for you even dropped in. Let's see who else. DD8209. Thanks. Merch Studios, as well as Band-Aids. And let's see who else was here. I've been talking for a while. Shareline GMHB. Hi. Sorry I missed you, but I see you now. Marty Wilkinson, you popped in. Hope you enjoyed the chat like everybody else was enjoying the chat. Let's see who else was in here. Oh, Crypto Cotter. Hopefully you didn't leave, but if you did, you could always watch the show again. Surgeon C, good to see you. Always nice to see everyone come back. Crypto Kerbit, wonderful. Flapping Plemis, Fud Machine, Beauty Bubble. Goodness. All right, I think I'm almost headed to the top of the list. Patrick, good to see you as well. And Ken Bozak and Brian McLaughlin. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you all being here. Please like or dislike. Leave a comment after the live stream, or even do a video response. Until next time, everyone, stay tuned. All right, bye-bye now.